Yo, Bo, welcome to another episode of In the Life with MightyFan. Got some pickups here, a couple jerseys, got some hats in the back to share too. Background looks a little different, right? So I got a new Z-bottom rack in, and this is the new one. And I had to put all my Phillies jerseys on there because the old rack kind of broke. Not Z-bottom, it was a regular rack, and it's over there off camera, but yeah. So I needed to get a new rack, and what I did was I put all the Phillies jerseys that were on that rack off camera, which is busted now, plus some of the other ones from my closet in here on this, on this rack. So now I got just a rack, a Z-bottom rack basically full of various Phillies jerseys. Got a lot of current player stuff, got some throwback stuff, some little bit of Mitchell and Ness on there too. But so that was kind of new, right? The rack that was here, I moved over to the back of the man cave here, and over time there'll be a few other racks put back there for football, and then I can put all my hockey on a rack upstairs, which is what I want to do, and also some leftover baseball and what have you. So anyhow, that's that. So let's get to the pickups, and first of all, this was a Lids online pickup. It's their one of their vintage hockey Fanatics branded, jerseys. But I said I had a refund because I didn't get the Flyers, Hockey Fights Cancer jersey. So I put some of that money towards two jerseys. I put it towards this one, and I put it towards another one that I got confirmation yesterday that shipped out. So the Landeskog Avalanche. So we got the Minnesota North Stars. A shout out to Jake and his Minnesota teams. So there you go. This is an old Minnesota team. Of course, now they have the Wild, but the North Stars, classic logo on the front, that green jersey. So it's the Fanatics branded, so it's all generically, pressed on. Nothing is stitched, but it's still a nice jersey. And when I was looking at the throwback hockey jerseys, this was definitely one that caught the eye. And see, the Bears just traded their number one pick. I just got a little ESPN alert. Sometimes I'm like, is it Philly related? No, okay. So this one certainly caught the eye. It's a jersey I've wanted to get for a while anyhow, regardless of who made it. It's just, a Madonna, one of the all-time great American-born hockey players, and his Minnesota North Stars jersey. So Mitchell and Ness never made, to the best of my knowledge, a Madonna. They made I believe, Dennis Hextall, same green jersey, just a different number, 22, and then 22, I believe it was 22. And they also made a blank white one, which my buddy Big Slim got from a seller who turned that one into a Dino Ciccarelli jersey. So very, very cool, custom, already everything on it. So, Slim has a very nice one in there. But they never made a Madonna to this point, so didn't have an opportunity to get their version from Mitchell and Ness. And you do find, you can find old CCMs or whoever, back in the day, but they're getting harder to find. Even the customizable ones, are getting harder to find. So when I had a chance at just getting the Fanatics one, I grabbed it because it's still an iconic, hockey jersey. So I had to get one in the collection. So there it is, right? The second one I'm not overly proud with, being a Flyers fan, but it's one of the jerseys from the Reverse Retro 2.0s that I knew I wanted to get because I am a fan of the logo, which is an older logo, but from my youth. So we got the Robo Pen, we got the Penguins Reverse Retro 2.0. And this big crest here, I grew up with this. This was like the Lemieux days. And, I was a fan of Super Mario back in the day. So when they wore this, when they brought it back for this jersey, I knew I wanted to get it. It's a Crosby jersey. I know. But it's hard to call any team a rival to the Flyers right now, as bad as the Flyers are. But I am happy that they got rid of Chuck Fletcher. Now Danny Briere will be the GM for the rest of the season, and then we'll see what happens going forward. But they need so many other things too to finally put this thing where it should be. But interim GM, that's the word I couldn't think of for a second. But I had to grab this. I got an earful from the guy at Lids, like, what the heck are you doing? But I'm like, I get a little discount with my Lids. I'm a Jersey head. You know, this is where it's like split personality. I'm a fan of but I'm a Jersey head, so this is one I had to get. He's like, but why? I'm like, you're not a Jersey head. You don't understand. And it's hard to explain to someone who doesn't do this. But it was cool. I had a good conversation with the guys. He's a Flyer season ticket holder, and he was thinking whether he should renew the tickets or not. I told him he should because, you know, when you're in for it, you're in for it, right? Just, you got to ride it. I know it's tough. I know they make it tough, but when they get good, then you're going to want those tickets again. So stick with it. You know, that was as I was buying a Penguins jersey. But it is what it is. So we got the Crosby. Now it's a Fanatics branded one. It was a cheaper alternative. I didn't really want to spend the more price for this one because I thought, like this, I don't need an Adidas Authentic in, just because, the design of this jersey is really nice. But I'm like, if I get the Adidas, I get the Adidas. If I get the Fanatics, I get the Fanatics. It was one of those that I just didn't. I didn't have that, like, I have to have it in authentic, for this one. It is a nice one. As much as it does pain me to say this, the Penguins always do a nice job with their jerseys. Like, they always have nice looking jerseys. And I do want the one with the Pittsburgh down the word font, because I have the starter old replica for Lemieux. So I want to get the current one too, just to have them both. And I do want the reverse retro 1.0 too, the white version with the Pittsburgh word mark down the front, because I've always liked that one too, and it just reminds me of the old ones they used to wear. Yep. See, this is a team that's able to draft generational talent when they're out there. The Flyers, they just have to win enough games, so they never do in seasons when they shouldn't. But that's a story for another day. But anyway, here it is. The Robo Pen 2.0, if you want to call it, the Reverse Retro 2.0 for the Penguins. It's Sidney Crosby, but, it is what it is. He's a good player. I can't say he's not. I mean, even as a Flyer fan, I'm not, overly proud of it, but I had to have it in the collection. It is what it is. Don't judge me. I have a problem. Hello, my name is MightyFan. I have a problem. I'm a Jersey head. So there's that. And for the hat pickups, I'm going to sit over here as I usually do. Where should I put this? I just want to make sure don't mind me as I'm setting up, right? We're trying. Let's see. As I adjust this to the way I like. This is always fun. Okay. So, yeah, there we are. Not good enough. So let's get to the lid pickups, right? Because we have a few of those, too. In fact, I forgot to bring some down. So I'll have to... This is when you have a lot of hats. So I'll have to bring those for the next pickup vid. Because it's the hats I got Mitchell and Ness last weekend. But I got these two. This one was from... Poshmark. I like always confuse Poshmark with Macari, so it always takes me like a second. Was it Macari or no? It was Poshmark. This was Poshmark, and Lids put these out I think last year or maybe a couple of years ago. It's the ABA collection that they had in store, which I never saw this in the store. Shout out to Big John. I know he got one of these a while ago, and I've been looking. I just never could find one until I found one on Poshmark recently. Now I do have a nice fitted. I do have a nice fitted Mitchell and Ness version too, but I love it with just that side patch for the ABA. Just really nice, and it just makes it a little different than the one that I have, because the one that I have is just a solid orange, big logo in the front, fitted Mitchell and Ness, real nice jersey. There's a guy in our community that's like insanely jealous of it, keeps wanting me to sell it to him, and no, even though I have this, that one's not going anywhere. Sorry about that, Eddie. You just have to find your own. But this is the Mitchell and Ness Snap. And it's a set they put out, I think, like a year or so ago. It was like a Lids exclusive. You only saw these in Lids stores, not even online, I believe. Which did kind of suck, because there's some other good ones in that set, too. But I guess the secondary markets, like a Poshmark, is really where you can find them. And then this one, as we all know, right, Combo Wombo. So once I got the Madonna, I wanted to make sure I got the right hat for it. So here's a Mitchell and Ness Snap for the North Stars. Goes perfectly with Mr. Madonna. Right there, snap back. This was an eBay pickup. I still have to fix up the brim, but this was an eBay pickup. I just looked like real quick. I wanted to do a quick search, see if I can find a decent enough North Stars hat that would go with that jersey, and I saw that one. I'm like, okay, that's done. And then this one, this was an in-store pickup with Lids. I actually got this before I got the jersey, and I just found the jersey, so the Robo Pen. So initially I got this to go with my Lemieux jerseys, and now it goes with the Reverse Retro 2.0 as well. So, of course, this is what this hat was made for, was the Reverse Retro 2.0. But it was in-store, and I'm like, I never saw this in-store before last weekend, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta get this for Mario. And then I just happened to get that Reverse Retro 2.0. It's funny how things work sometimes. But that's it. Just a little 3-pack here of some snaps. 2 Mitchell and Ness, and the other one is a Fanatics branded. Which I do think they did a nice job, with their Reverse Retro hats, whether it was from the 1.0 set or the 2.0 set. I'm not always the biggest fan of Fanatics branded hats, but I got to give them credit. Sometimes you just got to give credit where it's due, and I thought they did a decent job with this year's set, with that set. And I think there's another one, too, with, like, the side logo, which I have, the Capitals and the, something like that. So, those are pretty solid hats. I think they did a pretty decent job. All that being said, I know today's been quite an interesting day in the community. We had the first glimpse at some new Mitchell & Ness Authentic baseball jerseys they're starting to pump out. At least the flagship store put it on their Instagram story, and they also put a little post earlier today with the various authentic baseball jerseys that are new for 2023. Some hits and misses. Obviously, the two that were the most topic of conversation today, the 1988 St. Pat's Phillies jerseys, which they made Schmidt and they made Darren Dalton. And the funny thing is about that is I was at the store last Friday, wearing my old run Mike Schmidt. Basically the same jersey that they pumped out now. Then they actually told me that, he's going to be coming back. I'm like, oh, okay. It's a solid jersey. I like the jersey. The difference, though, is mine, it doesn't have a year designated. It's an older run Mitchell & Ness jersey. It has just St. Pat's on the tag, on the year tag. That's all it says. So it could be any year. The Phillies wore that jersey a few years for St. Patrick's. And mine has the name Schmidt on the back. The ones they put out today don't have the name on the back. And we had to do some research because at first I was like, yo, where's the name? It needs the name. So in 1988, the Phillies didn't have the name on the back. That's something we didn't know. We had, but you do a little research, and we found out, yeah, I mean, sure enough, Bill Henderson's guide showed the 88 version and the 89 version. The 88 version just had the number on the back. The 89 version had the name and number on the back. So it was just one of those little attentions to detail that Mitchell and Ness correctly got, and we were like there were members of the community that were not very happy. Myself, when I didn't know, so I'm like, yeah, why didn't they put the name? Wait a minute, what's going on here? And then through some research in the group, it was found that yeah, in '88 they didn't have the name. So job well done, Mitchell and Ness. And hey, that's our bad at first, right? Because there was decent amount of complaining going on at first. But the second one, and the one that we were correct about, the Ken Griffey Jr. Turn Back the Clock, which the jersey itself is an awesome jersey. It's a powder blue Mariners, a road Mariner jersey from like the circa the 1970s that they wore. I have the Zisk Mariners jersey in that style. I still want the freaking Gaylord Perry in it that they made, years ago. I have the home version, just not that road version that jersey's based off of. Really nice jersey, racing stripes going down, beautiful powder blue, with the Seattle across the front. And they made Griffey, and the issue is Griffey didn't wear that jersey. Now that jersey is from, it's been a long week. So I might fudge the year. I think 2010, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 2010. I'm like 2010, 2013 is like rattling in my. I can't remember exact the year, but it was one of those years, and it was the year that he was traded from Seattle to Cincinnati. Now he was traded in season that year. That year tag is correct, but the jersey, unfortunately, isn't. Griffey didn't wear that jersey. He was traded to the Reds prior to that turn back the clock game. The Mariners only wore it once that year. It was for one game, a turn back the clock game, but that game was played after he had already been traded, so Griffey never wore that jersey. So that's an oopsie by Mitchell and Ness. They made that jersey. The research department didn't exactly do all their homework on that one before they made it, because he was traded. It wasn't a big gap, from when he was traded to when that game happened, but he was not a Mariner when they wore that jersey, and it's a shame because it's a real nice jersey. I think they did a bang-up job on the jersey. If you just want the jersey and it doesn't matter to you whether he wore it or not, by all means, go for it. A lot of us in the community, we're a little more sticklers on that kind of thing. If the player didn't wear it, if you're just making it like, there's been Cooperstown versions of that jersey made just as, whatever, any great Mariner, name and number on the back. The Phillies have done it. They made like Cooperstown version of the powder blue jersey, even if the player never wore it, like a Robin Roberts or Rich Ashburn or something like that. It just to have it, it's a Cooperstown. They make it for all the great players. It's just a generic jersey. But a jersey with like a $300 price tag that's not exactly accurate. The player never wore it. Yeah, no. Again, listen, if you're just a huge Ken Griffey Jr. fan, and I'm a big Griffey fan, believe me, he was one of my first favorite baseball players. But, and you just want the jersey just to rock it and say, hey, it's a Griffey jersey. Awesome. I'm not going to tell you. I will never, on this channel, I will never tell you how to spend your money. You do you, but I'm going to do me. And I can't see myself. Even if I can get like a really good deal on it, super low sale, I don't know. I don't know if I could, pull that off. Never say never, because if you get like someone selling it on Poshmark for like $50 some years from now, would I pass on it? Maybe not. But as far as right now, I'm not going after that. I won't go after it on a sale, 25%, 30, 40, whatever. Probably not even 50%, because again, it's still even if you do that, it's $150 for a jersey that he didn't wear, and it's an authentic jersey. So is what it is. But I did also hear they're also making Ichiro, and Ichiro did play in that game. There's pictures on Google search images of him wearing that jersey. So safe to get Ichiro. So I'm hoping to grab an Ichiro, but the Griffey, probably won't happen. So those were the two big ones. They made others. They made a Road Hideo Nomo Dodgers. They made. I wanted to show this all on screen, but I just never got to it today. They made others. They made a Road Nomar Garcia Parra, Road Red Sox from, and that was the year. They have the number 9 tribute for Ted Williams on the sleeves. That obviously he passed. What else did they do? They did a few. They brought back the 71 Clemente, but it's the home version. We're all hoping someday they do the road version of that jersey too. But they brought that one back. They brought some Yankee jerseys in from the year that Mariano was retiring. So it has the Mariano, tribute patch on the sleeve. They have him, Jeter, and Ichiro. Speaking of Ichiro, I forgot he was a Yankee. I'm like, who's this number? Who's 31? Who's 31? And then it's Ichiro. I'm like, oh, that's right. He was there towards the end of his career. I completely forgot. I know him as a Mariner, even a Marlin, but oh, that's right. He was a Yankee, wasn't he? Like, what's this 30? Who's 31? I'm racking my brain. I'm like, who's 31 on the Yankees? And I'm like, oh, Ichiro. Okay, it makes sense. They have his rights. They'll make his jerseys. There were some other ones sprinkled. They made a Road Cincinnati Reds Pete Rose, and I have to see that in person because I love them Road Gray jerseys. But there was something about the font. I want to see if they got that right. Because on the picture of it looked a little funky. But then again, it's a stock photo. So I never really take too much into a stock photo. I want to see it in person before I make that ultimate decision. But yeah, because I would like a Road Gray Pete Reds jersey from the 70s, the big red machine ears. Those jerseys are just so nice. I have quite a few in the collection already. They also made Dontrell Willis 03 World Series. Obviously with the World Series patch on the sleeve. Home pinstripe. Looks really cool. I might be down for that one. I like D-Train back in the day, so, I know they made his batting practice jersey recently, too, so it's no surprise they made his actual Marlins jersey. And this is the first time they actually made an actual authentic Marlins jersey, because the ones they made before were batting practice, the Teal, Dalton, and Dawson, and of course they made the D-Train batting practice jersey a bit back, not long ago, I should say. So this is their first authentic Marlins jersey. So now they're starting to get into some of these, right? So it's cool. It's good to see. But yeah, I definitely want to. Check some of these out in the store. I'm down for a few of them at least. Probably not all at once, but maybe over time, depending on how they look. They did tease a jersey that they didn't show yet with the 88 World Series patch for the Dodgers. It looked like a home. The sleeve was a home white Dodger sleeve with the 88 World Series. So that's either going to be Gibson. And I was thinking maybe Hershiser because now they have Orel's rights too. They made his batting practice Dodger jersey just recently. So I'd imagine that might be a Hershiser, and they never made his jersey before in authentic form. So that would be kind of cool and different, right? And they made an Ortiz 2013. That's the 2013 jersey I was thinking of. So the Griffey is a 2010. The Ortiz is the 2013 World Series, and it has the World Series logo on the sleeve. It's the home white, Red Sox jersey. The only thing I think it's a bit of a shame, and I'm hearing conflicting things because all the images that I saw on Google, they didn't have the Boston Strong patch, which they wore after the bombings and the marathon bombings. And they didn't have it, and then I heard that they wore it for Game 6 or something. And if that's the case, it is a shame they didn't make it with the Boston. Now you can get the Boston Strong patch and have it put on, but that's a little detail that if they did indeed wear it during the World Series, it is a shame they didn't actually put that on the jersey, because that obviously has a lot of meaning. That Boston Strong had a lot of meaning for a lot of people. So the jersey I would like to get, and Mitchell Ness hasn't made it, and I don't know if they ever will. I know I can get it in custom form. Majestic custom form is the Ortiz jersey that they wore, the Red Sox wore right after the bombing, like the next home game where Ortiz made that speech. That speech just always gives me goosebumps, And look, I'm a Philly guy, through and through. But that speech, I think, just emulated anyone who has any patriotism in them, anything about that. Just every note he hit was right when he spoke. It was short, it was to the point, and it was very meaningful. And that jersey with the Boston across the front in the kind of the old looking, Boston font with the Boston Strong. I want an Ortiz jersey in that because again, that speech was just such a great speech that he made that day. No one messes with our fucking city. I love that. I thought when I saw it, because I watched that live on TV that day, and when he said, I said, man, that absolutely that that hit home. That really hit home. Even here in Philly, it hit home. So, when he said this is our fucking city, it's just like, oh, damn right, David, damn right, Big Poppy. And I always wanted to get that jersey, and I've since found it in custom form through a customizer in Canada. So I'll probably have to grab that. It's one of my goals for the summer is to get that jersey in, and that's definitely on my hit list. So that's the Ortiz Red Sox jersey I want from 2013, more so than the World Series jersey. So that would be the one I would want to get. But yeah, I mean, it's good to see. It's good to see a variety of authentics for baseball. They always do pump them out around this time of year. Yeah, like I said, there's hits, there's misses. There's always going to be their research department. They dropped the ball on that Griffey. It's a nice jersey. I thought it was done really well, but it's just unfortunate he didn't wear that jersey. But Mitchell and Ness did that in the past. They've made jerseys for teams and players that didn't exactly wear that jersey. I think one of the biggest goof ups was when they made the, which I own, and it is a nice jersey. I will not lie about that, but they made that Dominique Wilkins, the black Atlanta Hawks jersey when he wasn't on the Hawks when they wore that jersey. But that was a mistake made back in the heyday. So they made mistakes back then. Now you have this group of guys and gals in the Jersey Heads community who point things out to them, right? Now that you have social media and all that, When they make a mistake, we're going to let them know because we see it and we know. All right, everyone. Well, I'm going to cut out here because I just got an alert. I had a order from Grubhub that just came in, and it's a little wet out there. So I'm going to go get my dinner. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. As always, I'm going to have another vehicle vlog on the way this weekend. At some point, I'll have another pickup vid. Like I said, I had some hats I forgot to bring down. You'll see those. The Landeskog jersey's on the way. There's a couple other things on the way that I was able to grab. So once, stuff starts filtering in, I'll do another pickup vid. But the next vid for me will probably be another vehicle vlog this weekend. And I know that people look forward to those, right? Road raging MightyFan. But you all take care. What do you always got to do? You got to leave those likes, right? You got to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Make sure to hit the bell icon so you're alerted to all future content from yours truly. And you all take care. Hope everything's going well. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you again soon here on the channel. All right, everyone, take care.